What cowboys love to drink. In many films, cowboys are commonly introduced as violent people of the Old West. It will not be complete without the scenes at the saloon drinking beer or whiskey with their fellow cowboys. At the end of this video, you will discover that drinks for the cowboys are not all about the alcohol. Also, you will get to know the shocking truth about what's in their booze that made the Old West go wild. Most saloons look common throughout the Old West. The wooden interiors and boardwalks are similar to each saloon that you will see in every town. Like what we always see in cowboy-inspired movies, most saloons will welcome you with two swinging doors. Once entered, a very long bar is available to serve standing customers. The floor area has wooden chairs and tables to accommodate those who gamble. The alcoholic beverage was much safer to drink back in the Old West times, since the fermentation process gets rid of the unwanted microbes in addition to the alcohol itself. Most saloons offer free lunch if they buy a drink. To think, it is very cheap to fill your stomach in the middle of the day. What was whiskey like in the Old West? Unknown to many, the first whiskey served in saloons is not even close to New York's finest. If you knew today what whiskey was made of back then, I think you will get a second thought for drinking it. Cowboy whiskeys were raw and made in town. They were made of raw ingredients. Distillers always find ways to be creative with their drinks, at a low cost. They made it with some grains, low alcohol, burnt sugar, and chewing tobacco watered down with water. As terrible as the ingredients are, the names of these whiskeys are also weird. Have you tasted coffin varnish, red eye, or tarantula juice? After some time, another word to describe whiskey was introduced. It was named firewater. Since whiskey was much better to transport across border lines because of its longer shelf life, cowboys started to trade whiskey to Indians. And to show the potency of the whiskey, cowboys would pour it on the fire. It then acts like gasoline on the fire when it's not watered down, but it would quench the fire when it has water in it. Too smart, right? Since then, Indians called them firewater. Did cowboys like beer a lot? Beer was uncommon as whiskey, yet a lot of cowboys still drank it. Did you know that in the Old West, beer has to be drunk warm? It is because pasteurization was not yet invented during that time. If you do not drink your beer while it's warm, it only gets warmer, and you will not like it because it goes flat. But for some who prefer to drink cold beer, they harvest natural ice or snow. They store it in caves or ice houses. Beer was often brewed by saloon owners. Usually, those poor grains were the ones being prepared for brewing. To get more profit, saloon owners water the beer down. And because beer was a hit in that era, breweries kept on popping everywhere. Later on, some saloon owners could buy kegs and started to offer high-quality beers to their patrons. Just like whiskey, beer had funny and weird names too. Some names like Horn, John Barleycorn, O.B. Joyful Purge, Tiswin, and Who Hit John. Compared to whiskey, it retains its taste and potency at high or low temperatures. In the 1880s, a man named Adolphus Busch invented the artificial refrigeration and pasteurization process for brewing beers. It was when Budweiser was born as a national brand. So much of the alcohol. Did you know that cowboys are into drinking coffee too? You heard it right. Consumption of coffee, famously known as Arbuckle's coffee, is way higher than beer and alcohol. During that day, cowboys drink coffee every meal, pot boiling on fire all day. They just refill it with ground coffee and water. Cowboys, especially when driving cattle, are not allowed to drink alcohol. To keep themselves awake, cowboys drink a lot of coffee. Coffee is an invigorating drink that gives them a kick of energy, especially at night when they need to continue traveling. Just like whiskey and beer, coffee time is when cowboys sit around the fire and share their stories. This gives them a strong bond over a cup of coffee. Just like any cowboy who comes to a saloon to have a great time. At least not the wild one that fills a bucket of blood in saloons. A cowboy's life is not as easy as it seems played in movies. All the drinking is just to ease their body and mind from a long day at work. You have just discovered what cowboys are fond of drinking. Watch more videos that will get you to know them better.